All right, so before I begin, I want you guys to do something for me. Close your eyes. Everyone, I'm being serious. No peeking, keep them shut. Now, breathe in and breathe out. Now, I want you to dive in the deepest part of your mind, past all the noise, past all the distractions, and reach a place of peace. And once you do, I want you to think of the scariest thing that you can. It can be spiders. It can be the dark. It can even be your mother-in-law. So, once you have that, I want you to look closer. What makes it so terrifying? Is it her hairy legs, ogre voice, razor teeth? Now, hold that thought. Open your eyes. Did you know that almost half of adults are afraid of this? A clown. Something used for children's entertainment has become one of the most unsettling figures in the world. But why is that? While it is difficult to pinpoint the exact origins, what everyone is feeling is universal, and that is fear. A man known as John B. Watson discovered that we as humans are born with two natural fears. I like to call them primal fears, and they are basophobia, the fear of falling, and lygrophobia, the fear of loud noises, which is hardwired into our minds to protect a small, innocent human from hitting the ground or for being caught off guard. But as we grow up, it becomes less about gravity and more about perception and experience, as we are often afraid of things that is meant to bring us joy or mask a true face behind a painted one. This fear isn't just about the clown, it's how we handle the unknown and the unsettling in our day-to-day lives. We all have those moments where our eyes dilate, our mind shuts off, and we feel that we're just suffering in silence. I know that silence very well because for a long time, I was deathly afraid of skiing. Peering on that vast mountain range, it didn't feel like a winter wonderland. It felt like a cliff's edge. My mind would shut off, and my only instinct was to stand perfectly still so the mountain couldn't get me. But I realized that I could use this fear as a surge of energy. Instead of letting it paralyze me, I use it to push off. I didn't wait for fear to go away. I just took it down the mountain with me. Now, frankly, I would love to tell you that I'm a pro, but I'm really not. Matter of fact, I've become some of an unsettling figure to the children in the ski school because, frankly, they never really see me coming. But those runs down the mountain taught me something vital about the fear. Fear isn't something that goes away. It's something you have to partner up with. You need to learn that energy. You need to learn to use that energy for you instead of against you. And doing that can light the way to overcoming a fear, which reminds me of a quote by the great Mike Tyson, of all people, which says, "Fear is just like fire. It can be useful if you know how to use it. If not, you will get burned." As fire can both warm you up, but it can also burn a house down. It's all about how much you allow it to spread. Most of us, we try to take out that fire immediately. We avoid it. We step back. We tell ourselves that once this fear disappears, then we'll act, which, frankly, sounds like a good idea. But fear really doesn't get the memo, because the more you ignore it, the greater it gets, as it seeps into your decisions. It lowers your expectations, and it quietly starts choosing for you. But here's what's rarely talked about. There isn't just one fear. There's actually two, which, sounds obvious, but what I mean is there's a fear of failing and a fear of asking what if. Now, these fears come from an ancient fear, a fear, I would say, has plagued humanity for centuries, a fear that no one can deny, a fear I would classify as a primal fear, a fear known as shame. We as humans Wait, what? That's not supposed to be like that. We as humans, we are social creatures. We want to stick together. And to show such shame, such humiliation, it could lead to isolation. As fear was made to aid our survival, and a guaranteed survival method is to stick together, to be in numbers. We see this with animals like birds, fish, ants, and locusts. I hate locusts. As it becomes overwhelming for a predator to even comprehend what it's looking at. So this fear has birthed two other fears. The fear of regret and the fear of constantly asking, what if? Because one may hurt you and hurt your ego for 2 to 3 seconds. The other will keep you up at night at 2 a.m. But we live in a modern world now. These fears, particularly the fear of shame, of the survival instinct, is no longer our problem, but yet we still fear fear. So, all we need to ask now is, what should I allow? Should I allow this shadow to stalk me? And if so, do I avoid it? Do I ignore it? Do I allow this parasite to latch onto me? As we spend so much time caring about how to get rid of fear, we forget something vital. Fear is unavoidable. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of fear? We should be asking, which fear do I choose? Because when comparing fear with fear, something shifts. The fear of action meets a bigger fear, and that's the fear of regret. And suddenly, that fire feels different. It feels controlled. It feels useful. So you can fight fear, not by being fearless, not by waiting until you're ready, because believe me, that never comes to be, but by choosing the fear that keeps you forward over the one that keeps you stuck. You can push off into anything, because sometimes the greatest fear isn't the one in front of you. It's the one you never dare to light. Thank you.